What's going on, guys? Scarlet Eye Kurta here, back bringing you guys another video. And like I promised in the last video, today we'll be talking about Hunter x Hunter. But before I get into that, I would like to give you guys more information on my channel. For those of you who don't know, this is a brand new channel and I'm hoping to release a video at least once a week, primarily discussing Hunter x Hunter and One Piece. Those are my two favorite series. One Piece is rapidly approaching chapter 1000 and I would love to talk more and give you guys more discussion and review on One Piece. Is such an exciting time and Oda is about to reach an incredible milestone. So if you're a fan of One Piece, stay tuned. If you're a fan of Hunter x Hunter, stay tuned because there will be plenty of content for both series. By the way, if you haven't seen my last video, please go check that out. It's about Yamato and Zoro, so if you're a fan of either one of those characters or you're a fan of One Piece, check that out. Show me some love, leave a like, leave a comment. And lastly, this video will contain spoilers. I repeat, this video will contain spoilers. And for whatever reason, if you've watched the Hunter x Hunter anime but haven't caught up to the manga yet, shame on you. Okay, enough chit chat, let's get into the video. So in today's video, I wanted to discuss Gon and what his role will be going forward in the series. Is his story over? Will his nin be restored? All these things I would like to answer in today's video. So if you're a fan of Gon, this is the video for you. So let's start by discussing, will we see Gon again? Last time we seen Gon in the Chimera Ant arc, he lost his nin, he's ninless. We know that he's with his Aunt Mito back on Well Island. Now, is that the end of Gon? You know, many people speculate that Togashi is kind of shifting the story and we're focusing on Ging going into the Dark Continent, and you know, Ging will be the main character and you know, we're going to learn more about Dawn Freaks, we're going to learn more about the Dark Continent, so we may not be focused on Gon or the story may not shift to Gon, but that is far from the case. We know for a fact that Gon will return. How do we know this? Because back in chapter 204, when Gyro and Gon cross paths, the narrator stated that these two will ultimately meet again. So that pretty much validates that Gon will return in the story and he will encounter Gyro again. Now back to his nin, because many people speculate, well, he lost his nin and a hunter without nin is useless. It is believed that because he sacrificed everything, he also sacrificed his nin, and so he can no longer summon or activate his nin. But when you go back to the last time we seen Gon in chapter 345, he had a conversation with Ging. So realizing he couldn't activate his nin, he had a conversation with his father, and Ging specifically states, and I quote, "You had it when you were with me. You probably couldn't see it anymore. It just means you went back to normal. You fought with the intent to throw everything away and you turned back to normal." So when I hear that quote, to me that implies that he went back to normal, or at least he went back to the way he was before Wing opened up his aura nodes. So I don't think he necessarily lost his nin. I think he still possesses his nin, but he can't activate his nin. I think Gon will regain his nin in the series. However, I believe this decision to take away Gon's nin is beneficial for his character. I think this is a way that Togashi can develop his character. We seen as Gon developed his nin and developed his Jajanken, he tried to use brute force to resolve all of his issues. You know, even when you go back to the fight with Knuckle, even though he did try to strategize, we seen him continue to use Jajanken because that's the only thing he knew, right? And in order to be a good hunter, you need to be able to utilize your abilities in super effective ways and be able to use your mind and use your environment and strategize a lot more. And I think Gon was very immature and he needed to grow a lot more. So I think taking away his nin and placing him in a box where he can no longer use his nin will force him to develop in ways that he didn't once he learned his nin. So once he regains his nin, eventually down the line, he will be a much stronger and well-rounded character and a well-rounded hunter as well. And I think we've seen some of that post Heaven's Arena arc, back in the Hunter exam arc, when he didn't have nin and he had to be a little more strategic in order to pass the hunter exam. Like for example, his encounter with Hisoka and having to steal his badge. There was a lot more to that than just brute strength. Like he had to plan, you know, he had to wait for the perfect timing. He had to really strategize a little bit in order to take Hisoka's badge, and he was successful. It wasn't just, okay, I'm going to Jajaken my way through all of my issues. And I believe that that's the area of his character that needs more growth and needs more development. So I'm interested to see what type of situations post Chimera Ant arc Gon is going to get placed into and how he's going to overcome those situations. I think Togashi is going to put him in many situations that are designed to make him develop and grow more as a character. So what do I think will happen, and when can we expect to see Gon again in the story? Well, currently we are on our way to meet the gatekeepers, and we are in the midst of the succession war, which is freaking awesome, and I definitely will have a video on that. But I think once we reach the gatekeepers and we start the voyage to the Dark Continent, we could cut away from that, or we could cut away from them before they leave to the Dark Continent and go back to Gon. Also, we could see a time skip. There is a 10-month window to get to the Dark Continent, maybe longer. So we could cut away back to Gon after a year, you know, his character matured, or maybe the time on the Dark Continent is different, so it could be several years. But I think there is a possibility of a time skip. I think once we go back to Gon, ultimately there will be a conflict that involves Gon linking up with Killua, maybe even Kite and Aluka, and I think possibly we can even see the Chimera Ant squad all reunite, which would be great because I freaking love Knuckle. We could get Knuckle, Shoot, Morel, Nove, Palm, Ikago, and Meliorone, and possibly Colt. Who knows? Everyone could come together because we know that Gyro will be a threat. We know that Gyro has hatred in his heart for humanity due to what we've seen from his backstory. And ultimately, guys, I think Gyro can be a greater threat than Meruem, and not because I think Gyro is going to be stronger than Meruem, but we've seen Meruem's story arc. We've seen Meruem's metamorphosis from being a ruthless Chimera Ant to being a compassionate and merciful towards humanity by the end of his story arc. And I just don't think Togashi is going to tell a similar story with Gyro's character. Like, we know that Gyro's hatred for humanity is deep rooted because of his childhood and the way he was abused and neglected by his father and subsequently by the world around him. So I just think Gyro, his goal is unwavering and his resolve. So it's very exciting. I can't wait to see what Togashi does with Gyro's character, with what's going to happen, how he is going to affect the world, because Gyro is going to shake the world of Hunter x Hunter. And it's going to be such a crazy threat because most of the hunters and the Zodiacs aren't even in the mainland. It's going to be crazy. Back to Gon and how I think his nin can be restored. As we know, Togashi introduces mechanisms to the story all the time. Just like prior to the Chimera Ant arc, we never knew about nin beasts, and nin beasts are a thing in the story. So Togashi uses a lot of different mechanisms to make the story interesting and keep the story fresh. Although we have a ton of information on nin, I just think it's a lot more to be learned and a lot more to be explored in the world of Hunter x Hunter to really say that Gon certainly won't get his nin back. And like I said before, according to Ging, Gon's nin is still there. So perhaps he just needs someone to reopen his ore nodes to activate his nin, but we'll never know until Togashi comes back and releases more manga chapters. So guys, let's pray for Togashi. Let's send our 1,000 punches of gratitude towards Togashi so he can release new Hunter x Hunter chapters. So until then, please stay tuned to my channel where you can get all the Hunter x Hunter content. Also comment and let me know what type of videos you want me to drop. If you want to hear more discussions like this one or some theories, you know, let me know in the comment section. Also hit the subscribe button so you can be a part of my Kurta clan family. I want to build the Kurta clan family on my channel, so please subscribe. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for watching.